All right, I want to introduce you guys to another sutra. This one is a little bit more complex, and we'll see how much we can dig into it just briefly. This one reads, "To one of discrimination, to one of discrimination." What does discrimination mean? So in this case, discrimination is referring to likes and dislikes. I like this, I don't like that. That's what when we hear that word discrimination in a yoga context, that's what that means. Discrimination. Let's see the man vivekina. All right. So one who discriminates, viveka, has to do with the way the mind works. And the mind prefers some things, and it doesn't prefer other things. Right? It's another way of talking about attachment and aversion. We're attached to pleasure, and we repel things that we don't like. So, to one of discrimination, everything is painful indeed, due to its consequences. So, this is the result of not being aware of our discriminating mind, that mind that has preferences, right? The anxiety and fear of over losing what is gained, right? The resulting impressions left in the mind to create renewed cravings, and the constant conflict among the three gunas which control the mind. The gunas are qualities of being that, from a yogic perspective, they exist in every moment. They are defined by um, low energy, high energy, and equanimity. That those energies, those qualities exist to a greater or lesser degree in each one of us at any given time, and they're in flux. So, tamas, rajas. Tamas is like subdued, low energy. It's the quality associated with depression. Rajas is high energy. It's like manic, and then sattvic is a balanced state. And ideally, we aim towards kind of sattvic energy in yoga, but we go through these three gunas. Um, and this particular sutra says that there's a conflict. There's a conflict among these three gunas, and these three gunas control the mind. So let me look at this again. To one of discrimination, everything is painful due to its consequences. Now it says, the anxiety and fear over losing what is gained, right? So say you get something good, you have something good, right? You got a good job. There will be fear or anxiety over losing that job, right? The resulting impressions left in the mind to create renewed cravings. So there's other things that we desire, and that creates also pain for us because we don't have what we what we desire. All right. So this is another thing just to be careful about or to be aware of is how the mind discriminates against desires, wants, and dislikes. We want things to be a certain way. We get excited when we have certain things. And we get depressed when we lose certain things that we love. That's very natural. And yoga is about finding that kind of middle way between those two extreme ways of being. Because either way, you're just being flipped by circumstances. You're being pulled by one circumstance or another. And it happens to all of us. But if we can become aware of, oh, okay, this is the mind's tendency. It likes pleasure, it doesn't like pain. And when these things happen, the object here, the goal, if you will, is to try and maintain some degree of equanimity, if that makes sense, some degree of equanimity through it. So it's a kind of an attitude with which to proceed. All right. So on that note, let's practice some yoga. All right. We'll just sit for a few moments and observe the mind. Observe how the mind is. Just watching the mind. Just notice, what is it that you desire at this moment? Cravings, things that you don't have. What is it that you're desiring at this moment? Maybe it's as simple as the desire to do something else other than sit here, right? So notice that desire rise. So what we're doing is just developing awareness. Whatever's going on in the body, in the thoughts, the emotions, just for the moment, watching that. And here's the key. If we can feel a sense of equanimity, of a certain measure of groundedness or settledness, we're generally on the right track. There's nothing wrong with feeling a sense of settledness. In fact, that's kind of I would say, an aim or a place to proceed. Settledness is a place to begin yoga practice, not necessarily an end goal, but we proceed from being in a settled space in our body. Forget about flexibility, forget about strength and all that stuff. All right, let's go ahead and come onto our back. We'll do start out with some warm-ups on our back side. So make your way onto the ground and stretch out your legs and stretch out your arms. Bring your arms out, palms up. See if you can relax the whole body here. Find some good positive traction for your spine so the spine doesn't get all bunched up. Just make sure the spine is aligned as best as you can. And as we're resting here, to relax the muscles of the legs and the arms. It's another opportunity to settle into the body. And you might reflect on moments in your life or moments even in this past day when there have been opportunities for gain. Doesn't matter what the gain is, but opportunities for gain, opportunities that generate a kind of excitement. And there's nothing wrong with excitement, but just to keep it in check, because it can create also a lot of pain, a lot of frustration. So one just kind of keep it in check and approach any kind of excitement, even if it's for good things, for positive things, with a certain degree of caution,